So in this video, we're going to talk about sensitivity, specificity, positive and negative predictive values. So we're thinking about some diagnostic tool, and that diagnostic tool is either going to return a positive, that is where some condition is present, or negative when that condition is absent. And for any new test, we want to just see how accurate it is, together with sensitivity, specificity, positive and negative predictive values, compared to some gold standard. Because how do we know the condition is present or not? We must have some gold standard, some test that we apply to see whether someone has the condition or not. And I'm going to use the term positive and negative. Positive meaning the condition is present, negative meaning the condition is absent. So I'm going to start JASP here, as you can see on the screen. One little extra thing that you might not see is Learn Bayes. So depending on what screen you are on, you can see there's a little plus button. When you click on that little plus button and you scroll down, you can see there Learn Bayes, and I've clicked on that. So open a data file and take JASP or spin. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to load a data file. The data file will be available in the description down below, at least a link to it so you can get the same data file. I've opened the data file and it's called metrics.csv. You can see we have ID, gold underscore standard, new underscore test, and some other columns that really have nothing to do with this analysis. They were just blank files, but that's the way that the file imported. So I'm going to click on load and we can see there. We can ignore all of these V4, 5, 6, and 7. What we're interested in is the gold standard test. That came back either positive or negative. And then the new test, new underscore test, came back positive or negative. As always, we start with some descriptive statistics. So I'm going to click on descriptive and scroll down to descriptive statistics, which is first on the list. And so what do we want to do? Well, I want to split by the gold standard, because the gold standard test, that's absolutely going to tell me whether the disease was present or not, or the condition was present or not. And my variable then is going to be this new test that I want to examine. And so let's go down to statistics and we can just start unclicking many of these things. We don't need a mean or standard deviation or maximum or minimum. None of these things apply here. I really just want to know, in this new test, how many were negative, how many were positive, and there were no data missing. That's just about as good as it gets. Now, what I do want is a kind of contingency table. So I'm going to click on tables, and there we go. What I want is a frequency table. And this is where the magic starts. We can have a look at this. There's my gold standard. It was either negative or positive. So if it returns a negative, that means this condition was absent in your subjects, and positive, well, it was present. But this new test now, if we just concern those people that were negative in the gold standard, the new tests, some of them return a negative and some return a positive. And the same for people with the condition. Some had negative and positive results with the new test. And so first of all, we just want to have a look at, when it comes to this gold standard, if we look at negative, 90 people right there were negative and 10 people were positive. And I suppose that's what is reflected right there. If we look at those without the disease, the negative, the new test returned a negative result in 78 of them. And in 12 cases, though, the new test returned a positive, even though the gold standard was negative. So we can call this a true negative. 12 cases were false positive. If we look at people with the condition, the new test came back in the 10 of them that do have the condition. 8 of them came back as positive. That would be a true positive. And 2 came back as negative. Now, we'll have to remember these things because, unfortunately, when it comes to the sensitivity and specificity, we'll have to calculate that ourselves, even though we do have this module, the Learn Bayes module. I suppose we can do one more thing. Let's add a plot. So under basic plots, we'll hit distribution plot, and then we can see negative, and then the new test being negative or positive. Positive meaning everyone with the condition, and then there we have the negative and positive. What I really want to go back is just to add a little note to myself. So let's click right where it says frequencies for new test. Let's add a note to ourselves, and there we go. Let's write the following. So I've written a note. The sample prevalence, remember that's just a marginal probability, that's the probability of the disease. And if we look at the gold standard, the positive results, there were 10 out of the 100 participants had the disease, and that's 0.1. So the prevalence, the sample prevalence of disease here was 10% or 0.1. If you want to know how I get this mathematical typesetting, remember there is that little button that says formula. Let me click in there and you can see the formula. It's simply P and then D inside of parentheses equals And now I'm going to use some LaTeX. That's the \dfrac. That means display fraction. And then inside directly, following that, you see these braces, curly brackets. And you have the numerator and denominator, and then equals 0.1. So that's how you would get that. And then the probability of not the disease, so the gold standard being negative, let me just double click on that just to see that not is the LaTeX \neg, gives me that negative. And again, I have the display frac there. It's very easy to pick up LaTeX. So the probability of not disease then is 1 minus the probability of disease. Well, in this case, 90 of the gold standard test were negative. Out of the 100 subjects, that gives us a 0.9. Now, the sensitivity of the new test, remember, that's a conditional probability. That's the probability of testing positive when the disease is present. Let me just double click on that so you can have a look. That is how I get that, what we call a pipe symbol. So that is read the probability of returning a positive test on, that's the new test, given that the disease is present. And everything else is the same. So let's do that. The probability of being positive given the disease, remember, that's the definition of sensitivity. It's 8 out of the 10. So if I look at everyone who was positive, 8 of those 10 returned a positive result with the new test. And so that gives me a sensitivity of 80%. And then the specificity of the new test, remember, that's the probability of returning a negative result on the new test given that the disease is not present. So not, or neg D. And that is 78 out of the 90. 78 had a true negative out of the total of 90 without the disease, and that gives us a specificity of 0.867. We've got to remember those because, unfortunately, we've got to plug them in. So now we're going to go to the bottom here, and now we're going to click on Learn Bayes. And right at the top, you see binary classification. So let's click on that. And here you go. Now, remember, what we want to do here is to have the positive and negative predictive values, and that depends on prevalence. And so we do remember that the prevalence of the disease in our sample, but let's change that. Let's say that this comes from a population and the prevalence has changed to 0.2. Now, I said the sensitivity and specificity we have to plug in ourselves. So if we scroll back to our results there, the sensitivity was indeed 0.8. But the specificity, as we said, was 0.867, so 0.867, and you have to enter those yourself. So if we've done that, now if we scroll down, we can see the results that we want. So we are saying that the prevalence of the disease is 20% in the population, and remember, positive and negative predictive values are going to change. Now, sensitivity and specificity are there. We've entered those. But if we scroll down, we get to positive predictive value and the negative predictive value. And positive predictive value, what's the probability of disease given that the test result is positive, and negative predictive value, what's the probability of the disease being absent given that the test was negative. So once again, I'm going to leave a little note for myself. So I'm going to click on that button and click on Add Note. And I've written the PPV, positive predictive value, is the probability of the disease given that the new test result is now positive. So again, it's a conditional probability, but now I'm conditioning only upon those with a positive result on the new test, and that was 0.6. And so when the new test comes back positive, there's only a 60% probability that the disease is truly present, or the condition is truly present. And the negative predictive value, that's the probability of the condition not being present, given that this new test has come back negative, that's 0.945. So if the new test comes back negative, in 94.5%, or there's a 94.5% probability that the disease is absent. But remember, this is for population prevalence of 20%. So if you change this value, you'll have to redo all of this. Now the results will be there for you. You just have to change your note. And so do remember, when the prevalence goes up, the PPV goes up and the NPV goes down, but the prevalence in the population goes down, then the opposite is going to happen. And there we have a nice note that we can save and we can refer back to, and we have done sensitivity, specificity, positive and negative predictive values from our data set.